Let's make a sensational spaghetti alla Nerano that is so fantastic and delicious. The perfect thing to make with zucchini that really lets that zucchini shine. And when you have a garden that's booming with zucchini like I do, you know it's the right time to make some. And it really is just so delicious and fantastic, and really just requires a handful of ingredients, which you may already have on hand. The zucchini should be small so that it's got full of flavor. It doesn't have a lot of water or seeds, and you're going to want to thinly slice it, very thinly slice. For a portion for 2 people, I do 4 medium-sized zucchini, lots of olive oil in a small-ish. I'm using a 10-inch deep-sided skillet here, and the goal and the key to making this pasta so sensational is by letting the zucchini really break down and really cook down, because that's really what's going to make your sauce and give you all of that wonderful flavor. It kind of turns into this buttery, delicious, rich tasting sauce just from a handful of ingredients. So having that zucchini take time, letting it just have that time to cook down is important. Make sure you season it with some salt. I also like to take some garlic. I either cut a clove in half or I smash it and I don't chop it, and I add it in simply because I want a little essence of the garlic, but I don't want the sharp bite, because otherwise it's going to overpower the zucchini, and the zucchini here is the star. Gonna cook that zucchini as long as it takes to really break down. Now, this recipe was made famous by, there's a restaurant in Italy called Lo Scoglio that is very well known worldwide for making the best zucchini pasta. Stanly Tucci went there, filmed there for his show, and that's kind of when it took off and everybody made their own version of it. And I can tell you from experience, from being there a couple years ago at the specific restaurant, that this recipe is nearly identical. And I do attribute it to being, I'm using really good young zucchini, so it's got really good flavor, and I really take my time to let that zucchini cook down as much as possible, because that's where it gets its flavor. And you can see I'm smashing down that zucchini. At this point, you kind of want to turn it into almost mush, and that's the golden ticket there. I added my pasta to the boiling water. I add some cracked black pepper to the zucchini at this point and just let it cook down a little bit further. A few leaves of basil from the garden. Make sure you're washing them and add it right in. Now, these type of videos, I call them, from my point of view, like if you were my eyes, this is what you'd be seeing. I keep adding them to the rotation here in Laura in the kitchen to give you inspiration, but they don't replace my regular videos. Add some starchy cooking water to the zucchini. That's what kind of helps make a creamy emulsion. I do 2 ladlefuls, one at a time. I let one cook out and then I add the other. You just want to make sure that there's plenty of liquid there for the pasta to absorb. Once it looks just about like this, which I know it doesn't look super appetizing, but you gotta trust me when I tell you it is perfection. Add your pasta. Give it a really good stir, cook it all together a couple of minutes, and then you're gonna wanna make sure you hit it with a good amount of cheese. Traditionally, you do all pecorino. I think doing a blend of pecorino and parm is key, because it's not too strong, but it's also not too mellow. It's got the perfect blend. And then you wanna eat this right away for its like most incredible, delicious creaminess to really shine. It's fantastic. I can't even describe it to you, but it is sensational. I do have the full recipe actually in my latest cookbook, so if you have my cookbook, you will have that recipe. But if not, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.